Okay, let's talk now. Remember how we did those cost analysis? Well, the cost analysis comes before this. In other words, now you say I got a viable product. I know I can make money with it. I know the cost of goods, etc. This comes after that, not, but it comes before the cost, before the cash flow. So it's cost analysis, tech pack, then cash flow, right? Okay. So the tech pack is a representation of your product when you're ready to go into production. In other words, I want to make those 100 pieces now, so I'm ready to go. Now, before you're ready to go, you must have a first sample. That first sample is usually going to be by you, the designer. You're going to make the first sample. If you're not that qualified to do that, and just so you know, many cases designers don't do sewing. Most designers are the thinkers of the company, so they may not be able to sew, but they still have to engage in making sure that product's correct. So the designer will be a part of that first sample, and this is how designers learn how to make tech packs from doing that process. That's how I learned. So in other words, you make the first sample. Now you're going to take these measurements down, right? You're going to write all these measurements down, and you're going to give those measurements numbers, like A across his chest. You give those things numbers. You do the best you can. You don't have to be an expert, by the way. But you have to, if you're serious about clothing, you have to know the sizing of your products, right? But you will always have a person that's an expert in pattern making, so that when you're done with it, you can consult with them and they will tell you what to do, right? Or what to change. Now, these are just some various descriptions of what goes in a tech pack. I'll go over these with you a little bit later, but these measurements are very important. You got to have a point of measurement, A. B. Why is that important? Because when you take this to the manufacturer, this is what they're going to, it's like this roadmap. They're going to look at this to make your product for you. So they have to know where to go. Cuff length, here's a cuff length. They have to know all those procedures. Now, this thing here called tolerance, we actually called it seam allowance. The seam allowance is basically how much extra fabric you need in order to sew those panels up. And you know how you buy a product and you turn it inside out, you see extra fabric on the inside, right? That's the seam allowance, right? So look at these things, because this is what you're going to be making. Now I'm going to show you how to make this. So the first video, I'm just showing you what a tech pack is, and now I'm going to show you how to make it in Excel. Okay? Thank you, guys.